Your camera's already at the back.
David, Tim Abraham from Sky Sports News. There's been so much said after the story broke about Saturday night. From your point of view, can you tell us exactly what happened and what provoked you to take that course of action?
Oh, with the incident that obviously occurred, that I had struck Joe Root in the face, and I'm here today just to put my hand up and apologise publicly to Joe, and to basically say that I'm owning up, putting my hand up. I'm responsible for my actions. Extremely remorseful. I've let not just my teammates down, but the Cricket Australia fans, the support staff, myself, my family. I'm sincerely apologetic, and I'm just here to put up my hand up and apologise.
Can you explain why you did it? Was there any provocation at all from your point of view?
Look, that's irrelevant. Enough's been said. I'm just here today to put my hand up and say I'm accountable for my actions, and I've let everybody down that's before me today.
Just on the fine that you've had, and obviously no cricket until the start of the Ashes, what's your reaction to the punishment that you've had?
I think that the punishment that's been handed down by the Commissioner, I've accepted. Obviously, I'm not going to be playing cricket for a while at the moment, so it's up to me now to do everything I can, the little 1% things to help out the team to progress in this Champions Trophy, and then move on to have a great preparation leading into the Ashes.
David, Stephen Brentley from The Independent. Had you had a drink on Saturday night when the incident took place?
Yeah, I won't deny I hadn't had a couple of drinks, but as I said, there's no excuse for that. I did what I did, and it's totally obviously it's totally out of line. I'm extremely apologetic. It should not have happened. I've exchanged text messages with Joe. He accepted my apology, which I'm thoroughly grateful for, and it won't come to that circumstance again, because I've got to make the right decisions. In hindsight, looking back, I've done the wrong thing. I'm here to move on.
Do you think you have a problem with drink at all, David?
Definitely not. I don't think I have a drinking problem at all. It's just basically I've got to make the right decisions at the right time, and the other night wasn't a good time to go out and have a beer. We had lost the game. Even though we had a day off the next day, we still lost. We don't have curfews, but looking back, shouldn't have been in that situation.
14 years ago, great Australian cricketer Ricky Ponting got into trouble when he was a young cricketer. I think it was in a bar in Sydney. He admitted that he had trouble handling drink, and went on and reformed, and we all know what happened to him. I mean, do you think you have some way to go, not only to equal Ponting, but to reform yourself, really?
Yeah, well, what's happened in the past with Ricky was Ricky's thing. This is up to me now to be accountable for my actions, which I am, and just I just have to apologise for what I did, and I can't put myself in that position ever again, and not let the team down, not let everyone else down, and in these circumstances, try not to be aggressive like I did. And I just got to, as I do, move on, try and do everything I can to get picked for this first test now that I'm unavailable for the rest of this champion trophy.
Barbara Miller, Australian Broadcasting Corporation. There's been some confusion about whether there was an element of fancy dress involved. Can you just clarify whether there was a fake beard? Was that part of the incident?
Can you hear what you said before?
Whether Root had a fake beard, was that any part of the incident, and how hard did you hit him?
Look, we're not here to speculate about what happened beforehand. As I said, I'm here to apologise, and I'm extremely remorseful for what I've done. I shouldn't have done what I did, and I just want to move on from this.
So, were you out drinking on other nights as well, Champions Trophy?
On Champions Trophy?
We were out during you stayed in Birmingham. We were out other nights as well.
I've had a couple of drinks in the bar, yes.
Do you actually remember the night, or when you had so much to drink that you don't now easily remember it?
No, I definitely remember the night. I started off with a few drinks in the bar, then as a team, as a collective, we moved on forward to the walkabout, and as the circumstances prevailed, that I made a mistake, and I put my hand up today to apologise for that mistake that I've had.
James Rayok from The Guardian. The bar manager was on TV the other day saying he recognised your face, you're a regular there. Was it kind of you went to that bar quite often with your teammates to walk about?
I wouldn't say it was a regular occurrence. I had been there before, but it wasn't at those hours.
Yeah. Hi, Sabrina Brown, 7 News. We were talking about Ricky Ponting earlier. Michael, do you still feel David is leadership material?
Yeah, look, it's probably not the right time for me to sit here and be bragging about David's leadership qualities. I've said in the past that he does have a lot of leadership qualities, there's no doubt about it. But right now, as captain of this Australian team, he knows very clearly how I feel. This behaviour is unacceptable as an Australian cricketer. I think, although we have quite a young group, I do believe we've come a long way in regards to the culture of this team over the past couple of years. I think, our behaviour generally has been outstanding. Like I said, Davey knows how disappointed the team is, and I am, with his behaviour. He knows it's not acceptable as an Australian cricketer, and he knows he'll have to do everything in his power now to give himself a chance of being right for that first Test match.
David, Chris Stocks from Metro. Do you feel fortunate still to be on this tour?
Yeah, definitely. With what the punishment was handed down by the commissioner, as I said, I've accepted that, and I'm grateful to still be on this tour. I've got no cricket in the next month, which I have to go back into the nets and start practicing and preparing as well as I can, and help as much as I can to help my teammates that I've let down progress in this tournament in any way I can and prepare for the Ashes.
Do you feel you still have a part to play in this Ashes series?
Hopefully I do. Yes. I've got to keep, as I said, keep preparing as well as I can on and off the field. And as you say, I've got to be a bit smarter with what I do on and off the field.
Mike Walters, Daily Mirror. When 4 players were disciplined in India earlier this year, Mickey Arthur described it as a line in the sand moment. Has the line in the sand been washed away by the tide?
No, not at all. I think we made it very clear of our decision, the reasons for our decisions in India, and I still stand firm by them. I believe we made the right decision for the team at that time. Although the punishment, once again, for David is quite harsh, that's the reality when you play for the Australian cricket team. The culture that we're trying to create and set up here, you need to make sure you're doing the right things. This is not an IPL team. This is not state cricket. This is not county cricket. When you represent Australia, there are standards you have to uphold. And unfortunately, on this occasion, David knows and has acknowledged he hasn't upheld those standards, so he's been disciplined for that.
Michael, just pick up on that point. You've made tough decisions in the past recently on that tour of India. Since this has happened, the management of the Australian team's almost been brought into question. There's been speculation about whether the management is good enough. Are you confident that the team is being managed properly at the moment?
I am, and I'm a big part of that as captain of the team. We continually look at our leadership and try and work on areas that we know we need to improve. We are not perfect, and I think that's probably the main thing I've been thinking about over the past few days while trying to get my back right. There's areas that we can all improve. And like I say, although we have a young team and we don't accept these standards, we also have to acknowledge that along the way there's going to be some ups and downs. And as a leadership group, as long as we can knock it on the head straight away and continue to set our standards high, I think the players will continue to see that to be a part of this team, there's guidelines, there's restrictions, there's limitations, there's expectations, not just for the Australian cricket team, but for the people that continue to support us, and for the people that have not only come before us, but will come after us in this great game.
Michael, Lawrence Booth in the Daily Mail. How disappointed are you to have to be dealing with another disciplinary issue so soon after what happened in India?
There's no good time to be dealing with things like this, there's no doubt about it. Nobody wants it. I'm sure David would prefer not to be here as well. But this is part of what you do as the leadership in this team. And like I say, I think we're all looking at areas where we can improve. I respect the fact that David has put his hand up and wants to move forward, has apologised to Joe, has acknowledged that he's made a big mistake and he's going to suffer the consequences by not taking part in any more of the Champions Trophy. And, his preparation is certainly restricted now for the Ashes. So he does deserve credit for putting his hand up. It's important for us after today that we as a team move forward and don't look backwards. I think our focus has got to be on continuing to have success in the Champions Trophy. And like I say, after this press conference, that's what the team will be focused on.
David, you're obviously contrite, but 3 weeks ago there was a transgression, and I guess you were contrite then. Why should we now sort of believe that this is a turning point and that you will be a good lad in future?
Obviously, it's disappointing to have 2 incidents in a matter of months. I'm here to obviously apologise for my actions, and it's come 3-4 weeks after that incident occurred in India as well. So I have to keep moving on from this. I've got to just draw a line under it, move on, keep preparing as well as I can to get that spot back in the Ashes.
Michael, just very quickly, 18 months ago I think there was a performance review into Australian cricket headed by a guy called Don Argus, and he identified that the culture of the Australian team was amiss, and I think he said the selectors, including the captain and coach, must ensure the right people are in the team in terms of skills, attitude and character. Do you believe that you are managing to do that?
I believe we're trying every day. And I think we've come a long way, there's no doubt about it. Like I said, there's going to be times, and there has been plenty of times throughout my career, where I've made mistakes. The most important thing is, like I say, as part of the leadership group in this team, that we stamp on these mistakes straight away. We continue to let players know what is expected of them as an Australian cricketer. We don't lower our expectations and our standards. We let every player know that if you want to be a part of this team, you must meet the standards, not the other way around. David knows what he has done does not meet the standards of an Australian cricketer. And he's going to suffer the consequences, or already is suffering the consequences of that. He acknowledges that. But I think, like I say, we need to also respect the fact that through all of our lives, you have some tough days, you make some errors in judgment, but the most important thing is you get up and learn from your mistakes. And I think that's the most important thing for David right now. As he's acknowledged, there's been a couple of incidents over the past month that he's certainly not proud of, and we're not proud of as an Australian team. He'll learn from this. It'll make him a better person. It'll make him a better player. And I have the confidence in David that we won't be sitting here having this conversation again.
Last three, 1, 2, 3.
Michael, Jack from Australia. Were you involved in recommending a sanction to the Commission, and if so, what was your recommendation? And can you tell me also...
I'm silly, but I'm not that silly. Look, at the end of the day, the leadership group has discussed the incident and made a decision that David was going to be stood down for the one game while Dave had to have a hearing. So I guess in regards to the leadership group of the team, the decision was to stand him down for that one game until the hearing had happened, and then we'd make a decision after the hearing. So, I guess things were taken out of our hands as there was a hearing because there was a code of behaviour breach.
And what did you say to David when you first heard of what happened?
I don't think it's right for me to go into that, to be honest. I think David knows how I feel. I think everybody in this room knows how strongly I feel about the culture of this Australian team and how important I believe the standards are of this Australian team. I've had that private conversation with David, and I don't think it would be fair of me to discuss that here.
Michael, Andy Swift, BBC, you'll know that a lot of England fans will be watching this and loving watching Australia having these sorts of problems.
Sure.
Some have suggested that you're a team in disarray at the moment.
Sure. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I've said for a long time, it's not what you say, it's what you do. This is an opportunity for Dave Warner to show the world it's not what he says, it's what he does.
Nick Holt from the Daily Telegraph. Michael, is this an opportunity to galvanise the team ahead of the Ashes? And also, we better ask you about your back.
You don't have to ask me about my back. Look, I don't think any team, any Australian team, needs something like this to bring us together before the Ashes series. We know we're very focused on this Champions Trophy tournament right now. We want to have success in this tournament. We've got a game in a few days that we'll be preparing for tomorrow, and then we'll be 100% ready for the Ashes. There's no doubt about it. In regards to my back, it's getting there. Probably asking the wrong person. I sit here and say I'll be 100% fit for the game on Monday, but I've said that over the last 2 games as well. So it's about, judging my back every day. It's slowly getting better, there's no doubt about it. But I'm as keen as ever to get on the field and try and help this team have some success.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.